Hi, this is Greg in Pensacola, Florida. I'd like to welcome you to my YouTube channel. Tonight is episode 3 of Made with my Makergear, where we'll look at the last week to 10 days and see what things I've printed on my printer. Alright, tonight the first thing I'm going to show you, if you remember the giant, let me pick them up here. From the last Made with Makergear video, we had this guy that we made about 8 inches tall. Well, the original requester of the video went back to Wargaming Miniature Showcase and asked him, hey, can you do a pose where he's got a warhammer in front of him? Well, this is what they came up with. Another beautiful model. I'll link to it on Thingiverse. I've already got a picture in the made comments of this guy right here, but he came out fantastic. This is about the full 8 inches tall, so he's about the same height as the other guy is right here, you know, so good stuff. You know, they did a really good job on this model. So, yeah, I printed this off big. This was on my War Machine table the other day when we played, but I also got a friend of mine that wanted a few of them. So I printed him off. We got 4, I'd say, regular height, you know, your 3-inch height of them right here. And so he's printed off great. I did, I can't remember if I took a picture of the support structure or not. If I did, I'll add it in the video somewhere right around here that'll show you the supports, but I'll show you on the big model. I use Simplify 3D, so I do supports from the build table, and so basically I have supports that came up here, up underneath the arms, but then I added manual supports on top of the hammers to catch these arms right here and give them a place to build on. So there'll be a little cleanup underneath that arm and on top of the hammer, but that's no biggie at all. I mean, this is a great looking model. Printed it with 10% infill. I think it was a 8-hour print, 9-hour print, I forget how long, but it wasn't that long and it came out great. So this was printed with Matter Hackers PLA, and it was printed at 0.2 resolution, and I printed 195 degrees C with it. The next thing I printed is this giant house. This is a war tower right in front of you, and it's hard to, that's 8 inches tall, and it comes right here to this little bit above the first level. So this thing is fully maybe 12, 13 inches in height when it's put together. I mean, this is a beautiful piece. This is from printablescenery.com. This is off their original Winterdale Kickstarter, and this is just another one of the pieces. The guy is so fast and he cranks out this stuff so quick, I can't keep up with printing as fast as it came out. And I think he's done, because he did Winterdale 2, which is going to have docks and a steampunk area and a whole, you know, just, it blows my mind how fast and how well his stuff is coming out. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. You know, if you have a wargaming table, an RPG table, do yourself a favor and go pick this stuff up. Winterdale 1, the entire collection is up for sale, I think. There may be one piece that's not, that hasn't come to us, but I haven't looked this weekend, so it very well could be there. But all the other pieces that have been released to the Kickstarter people are available for you to purchase yourself. So if you like this war tower and want to buy this war tower, it's there for you to purchase. Put this back here. So I'm just going to kind of disassemble this as I go. So this is a War Machine figure up top. This is a War Jack. This is a 50 mil based Defender, Signar Defender, and this is a Coleman Striker. That's Striker 1 sitting up on top of there. So even your Iron Kingdoms RPG, this stuff fits right in. You know, it holds these figures. So let me pull these out of here. So again, the roof. Printed the roof in 2 pieces. I printed the solid version. He gives you all different types of options for every single level of this tower on here. So you can print this solid or hollow on there. I do it solid. I do 10% infill, 0.2 millimeter layer height on all this. You know, so I printed both these. And then here's the third story. And here's a door that goes out onto that war platform. And like I said, there's a grating, there's windows, it's not just the one variant. Every level of this has like 3 or 4 variants to it, so you can print 2 different war towers and they'll look different on the table for you. And you can print floors for each level too if you want. For me, I'm gluing it together for War Machine, so I'm not too concerned about the floors right now. But if I was going to make it, I would, you know, maybe make it where I can take it in half, maybe on this level here with the tower, you know, and put a floor there. But, you know, here's the second level. This flat part right here goes up against there. Again, 0.2 millimeter. This is eSun PLA Plus, brown filament, printed 195 degrees C. And then here's the top of the war tower. Bottom of it, here's the top. Great detail, great stuff. If you do print this one, I forgot to turn the supports on right here because this is a 45 degree, and Simplify 3D will run some really quick if you do from build plate only right around this. So that's something I forgot. So if you see a little bit of stringy there, that was my fault. I didn't catch that when I previewed the model. So that's just something to keep in mind if you're going to print your own. This all prints as one piece. This is awesome. I mean, I slapped the top on that and put that out on a field by itself, as a blocking train or something like that. But that's a beautiful chunk of plastic. 10% infill. Again, eSun brown PLA Plus. Here's your bottom level. It's got two flat surfaces. So one goes against the war tower. The other takes care of this little shed top on there. Beautiful. The artwork, the digital art that they did on these models is tremendous. And then you got this bottom piece. It's got the door. This little cover comes off the top. You can print it with no door, an open grating, so again, if you do any type of RPG, any type of role play, and you play with miniatures, or you play some miniature war game on a tabletop that's in a fantasy setting, we play War Machine. We got Iron Kingdoms RPG. We've got a bunch of other different stuff from Pathfinder. This train's a must-have. It really is. Because let's say if you spend, $10 on that war tower for the digital file, how many of those towers could you make for a roll of filament? 6, 7 of those towers? How much did you pay for those towers commercially? If you look at some of the terrain, like the Battlefield in the Box, that has, one elven tower in it for $49 or $42. So the money savings is there. It really is there. So if you're a trained heavy person, getting a file that somebody wants a little 3-inch miniature for, and then blows it up to a nice big 8-inch, and it turns it in. It's a different purpose. This is for your RPG campaign inside a dungeon he's building. This is for my War Machine table. Same model, it's just scaled. So, and I want to give a shout out to those guys, Miniature Wargaming Showcase. I'll definitely put a link to their to the model on Thingiverse. They do have a YouTube channel also. Make sure you subscribe to them. I hope they keep putting out models like this because they're fantastic. They really are. The guy's got some talent. I'd like to see him take some of that talent and maybe get enough of a backlog of neat things that he can either sell them or run a small Kickstarter, for stuff, because I really do think that's the new wave. It's going to be buying the digital files and then, making your own stuff. And then I want to give one more shout out. I do these made with Makergear things. The Makergear does subscribe to my Twitter feed, so they see these videos go up. I do, get a thumbs up from them and stuff like that every now and then. But it's nice to see. I had a comment from Mark6272 about 12 hours ago, and he said, "Great videos. Because of them, I've purchased a Makergear M2. Thanks for all of your great info." And that means a lot. So, I mean, if you go out and buy a printer, I don't get any kickbacks. I bought my printer the same way, the same price that you're going to pay for yours. But I enjoy the printer. I really like Makergear. Depending where you've come into this, I did win another 3D printer off the 3D Printing Nerds channel. So I will have a Wanhao Duplicator i3, which I think is going to be a nice balance because we're going to see two different price points of printers. And I'm going to keep pushing things through. It's nice. The other one's got an 8 by 8 inch by 7 or 8 inch high heated print bed on it. It's a all steel construction on there, so I'm excited. I've seen the prints on it on his channel because he unboxed it and did a test print, and it looked fantastic. So looking forward to having another printer here on the channel. Maybe I can get some stuff out and share the love back. Because someday I would like to have 10,000 subscribers too. But if you do buy a printer, if you buy filament, I buy my eSun filament from Int Servo. As part of the contest, I got a bunch of Matter Hackers filament. I got 3 rolls of it, so I'm going to try that. And I'll let you know what I think. Each thing is going to have its own little video tied to it, but to get back to the Makergear, if you do buy one, let them know. Say, hey, Greg on YouTube, saw his videos, loved the printer, liked the way it prints, decided to buy one for myself. So that would mean a lot to their guys, because you get a lot of other printers out there that I don't want to say get YouTube time, but they're on YouTube on there. This printer deserves its place right next to theirs. I think the quality speaks for itself. This is the third video of putting out stuff that just looks awesome. I mean, 0.2 millimeter right here. I mean, this is beautiful stuff. I mean, if you look at how that prints on the back, that's straight up and down. There's no Z-banding. There's no crazy anything going on in there. It just works, and that's what you want. Ultimately, when you spend that money on a printer, you want it to work. All right, all this other stuff in front of me. Guild Ball. We do play a little Guild Ball outside of War Machine, and I'm turning into the master of the dice tray. So this right here, personally, is my dice tray. This is, I play the Engineers, so I made an Engineer dice tray, and I made matching templates. These are the templates that go with the game. And then I designed a scatter template and printed that out. And I think you saw pictures of the white box I did for a friend of mine who just left, who's up in the Carolinas right now. But this one is for me. I printed that out this week. 0.2 millimeter. I think on the dice boxes I'm doing 20% infill, just because you're throwing dice in them on there to keep them a little more robust. 0.8 millimeter of a divot on there. And I just took the Engineer logo, converted it to a 3D model, and then just sunk it, down in the box. So this is really good, but this one's mine. And again, that was printed on the Makergear. So all this dungeon terrain in front of me, we'll have a video. I'm not sure what order they're coming out in, but I recorded it right before I recorded this one. This is the Dragonlock 3D terrain expansion 1 and 2 for their Kickstarter. So what we just so you know, the dice box, this was printed in Hatchbox silver PLA. So that's their silver, that's the standard PLA. Over here with the dungeon terrain, and why I mention that is because like the lighter gray piece that you see right here, this is the ESUN silver PLA plus. So it's a little bit more flat in its color and a little bit lighter than your typical silver. So these two pieces are in that. I was just using up what I had left on a roll of it. But all the rest of this is your Hatchbox PLA, and this is your ESUN Brown PLA plus. And so what this is expansion 1-2 of the Dragonlock. And Dragonlock is a locking terrain system that has clips, and so you can build your 3D dungeons however you want. This right here, this is a double door. I don't have these locked together. I just have the top, and it's modular, so this comes apart. And the pieces are right there. I just did a video of the whole review on this, so it's either the video before this one or the video after this one, but it will be within a couple days either way of it coming out. And this is beautiful stuff. Every piece of this was printed 0.2 millimeter on the Makergear. And in the videos, I show how I laid out my build plate. So all the brown stuff was print in 2 print runs. The silver, minus these 2, because that was the end of another roll, was printed together on 1 build plate. So I show those build plates. It's still attached to the build plates in those videos. I took it off for this video. But so I just wanted to show you. Great stuff right here. Printablescenery.com. These guys are killing it with this tabletop and RPG terrain. It's beautiful. Get it. It's not that expensive. For the file and for a roll of filament is still less than what it would cost you to go out and buy one of those houses pre-done. It really is. If you want an example, Broken Egg Games is selling fantasy terrain. Beautiful stuff. I'm not sure what company that they're partnered with on there right now, but it's beautiful. But it starts at about $40 and it runs up to 130 on there. So just gives you an idea. If you have the ability to do this, or you got a friend that has a printer and you want to buy the files and then buy some filament for them and just hang out, drink a few sodas, and print some stuff, if they'll do that, it'll save you a ton of money in the long run. I could recoup the value. I could recoup the price of the Wanhao by printing nothing but this and Dragon Lock, hands down, because that printer's about $400, and I got a Matter Control Touch on it for $300 on there. I definitely could recoup the value of that. And the Makergear, it's rock solid. I fill that build plate up from front to back. It's an 8-inch by 10-inch build plate. I don't have any qualms anymore worrying about it. I just let it go. You know, I'll start a print up about 7 o'clock at night, and I usually get up, you know, about 2:30 in the morning, you know, refill my drink or something like that, and I'll just pop in the office, and whatever I'm printing is done. I don't worry about things coming unstuck. And like I said, I'm using the Hairspray Method. I did mention that in the last video, and until something happens that all of a sudden Hairspray doesn't work, I'm not switching this method, period. My printer is so dialed in right now using this method. You know, I don't want to put another topping on there, another coating. No more. You know, I have the build tack here for when that day comes that I'm not printing PLA anymore, and I want to switch maybe to PETG or something like that. Yeah, then maybe I need to put the build tack back on. But for right now, it's PLA all the way, and it just prints great. So this is Greg. This was Made with My Makergear, episode 3. Thank you to Wargaming Miniature Showcase for putting this model out. I really appreciate it. And thank you to Mark6272 for the comments on there. You know, I appreciate all the comments that come into my video, and I really try to reply to them. But this is the first person that said, I bought this printer because of your videos on there, you know, and it means a lot. I don't have a ton of subscribers, you know, we're still less than 1,000. We keep getting subscribers every week as we go along. But for me, when I started, I was watching Barnacules, 3D Printing Nerd, Maker's Muse. Those were the channels that made it so I had to have one of these printers. I already had seen the Dragon Lock Kickstarter go up, but watching those channels, watching the things that they were doing, you know, just put it over the top. And I got a War Machine coming up here down in Orlando in a couple weeks. I'm finally going to be over this huge hump of stuff, because right now I'm painting like crazy. I've got a table tray full of miniatures that I've been painting on, so all my free time is on that right now. So going to Orlando, I'm going to have a good time down there, but when I get back, I had my Scorn, which is my next faction that I'm going to play up through War Machine Weekend, commission painted, so I don't need to paint anything for that faction. And he's going to start working on my Menoth, because I'm going to be playing Menoth faction in 2017. So that opens up my plate for more of this, for painting this stuff. That's what I'm really getting excited to do. You know, on here, you know, like with the Hurt Starts, we don't cast the blocks and leave them in a bucket. You know, we're going to finish it out, you know, and just right now I just haven't had the time to get the paintbrush out on terrain, because it's all going on the miniatures right now. So, but when I get back, I don't have any painting, you know, timeline above my head, so we can start getting this stuff painted. I really want to take this Dragon Lock stuff and get some Hearthstart stuff and show the integration of the two systems together. I want to cast some Hearthstart stuff, because I have Team Yankee, which is your kind of your World War III Tom Clancy era, you know, in the mid 80s, 15 millimeter miniature combat. So we're going to use 3D printed terrain on the table for that. We're going to hand cast with Hearthstart's terrain for that. We'll show some of the building and things. So that's where we're going to incorporate all this together. But when am I at? How many minutes? 21 minutes. I can't make a 10-minute video. I don't know why. But I thank you for watching. If you're here all the way to the end, I mean, I appreciate it. I get long-winded, but you get passionate about it. I mean, it really is. You go all the way through your life, you know, and then you hit something later on in life, you know, just catches you completely off guard, and you're like, wow, this technology is the best thing I've played with in 20 years. It really is. Yeah, it's becoming more mainstream. Yeah, so it's fun. So if you have any questions, leave them down below. If you buy a printer from Makergear, let them know. I'm going to have a Made with a Wanhao channel also. So then again, if you buy a Wanhao printer, let them know you know, that, hey, what I saw on YouTube I really liked, you know, and that's why I'm buying your printer, you know. So I appreciate the comments, and if you do, let me know you do that on there, because I do appreciate that, and it keeps making me want to turn the camera on and show this stuff. You know, I just don't want to keep all this stuff here for myself. You know, my friends see it all the time because I drive them nuts with pictures and things going on. But for me, I like to share it with you guys. It's fun. So thank you. If it's your first time here and you like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, post it on your website on there. But you guys have a good night, and I'll see you in the next video.